At around 24 to 25, I started experiencing symptoms of hair loss. And once I turned 26, my hair loss got a lot more aggressive, to the point where my hair started thinning a lot quicker and I had to do something. But in just 1.5 months, I was able to go from this to this, using finasteride. Here's how I did it, what I experienced that made me end up quitting finasteride entirely. What made me start again, and an alternative to oral finasteride that may be an even better alternative to reversing your hair loss. And just a disclaimer guys, I'm obviously not a doctor, and this is just my experience on finasteride. So if you have any questions or medical concerns, I obviously recommend reaching out to them and see what they say before you start. So with that out of the way, let's get into my routine on how I was able to grow my hair back in just 1.5 months using finasteride. So the first and obvious thing I started using was oral finasteride. Now on the packet, this tells you to take 1 tablet by mouth per day, and this is way too much. You don't want to take that much, especially because one of the possible side effects of oral finasteride is lowered sex drive. So knowing that, I was trying to avoid that completely. So what I did was I started taking only 3 tablets per week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on the weekends, I would take nothing at all. These pills are super easy to take, they're super small, so if you have trouble swallowing pills, personally, I used to have trouble swallowing pills, so I know struggle, but if you currently have trouble swallowing pills, they're super small, so you don't have to worry about any of that. But just taking oral finasteride isn't what made me get my insane results. I was taking a lot of other stuff that personally I believe helped me get my insane results so quickly. And I do want to mention that I was doing most of these things before I started taking the finasteride. I'm obviously not 100% certain, but in my opinion, I believe if I wasn't taking these things, my hair loss would have been a lot worse, a lot quicker. But the main reason I was able to reverse my hair loss was because I started taking the finasteride. All this other stuff I'm about to show you is really just to help you slow the rate of hair loss. The finasteride is what's going to help you grow back your hair and reverse your hair loss. So the first product I'm going to show you that I was using to help support the finasteride and help me grow my hair back is this one right here. This is going to be the foam variant of minoxidil, and I'm not going to go too deep into the effects and how this stuff is actually helping your hair. This video is mainly going to be about finasteride and my routine with it, but basically what I would do with this is that I would just apply it to my problem areas morning and night. So I would mostly apply it here, and to the back of my head in the crown area. The reason you want the foam version and not the liquid version is because the liquid version oftentimes will dry out your hair and will dry out your skin. I've tried the liquid version and it's just not fun having to deal with the dry skin. Make sure you go with the foam version. You don't have to get this brand, but you will find it in the description along with all the other products I'm about to show you in this video. The next product that I invested in is a derma pen. Now you don't need a derma pen. You can get a derma roller and a derma stamp. This is the best form of it. It's a bit more expensive, obviously, and if you can afford it, I do recommend that you get it. But if you don't want to spend too much money, then just get a derma stamp or a derma roller. They both do good as well and will get you great results. What I basically would do is I would just put them on the problem areas right there, and back of my head there, and I would go in circles like this and boxes, and then crisscross in all the problem areas like that. Circle, cross, crisscross, same thing. It might seem a bit confusing, but it's actually very simple once you do it once or twice. There's also tons of videos online that will show you how to use these things. And on the 1 day per week that I would use the derma pen, I would avoid using minoxidil on my hair completely. I don't know how true it is, but apparently you don't want to mix them together because you don't want minoxidil going into your body. As I said, I'm not a doctor, so if you want to use them on the same day you can, but from my research, I personally don't recommend it, just to be safe. I'm not going to go too deep into them because I just want to focus on my routine. If you guys do want a more in-depth video about these things, let me know in the comments down below though. The third thing that I would use, and these are a pair that come together, is thickening shampoo and thickening conditioner on Amazon that you can get in the description below. And the reason I bought these two is because these are specifically focused to help you grow your hair back. You guys are probably able to see it now. It has a lot of ingredients in it that are specifically made to grow your hair back, and same thing with this one as well. But really, you can find any type of thickening or hair thickening shampoo and conditioner, and you want to use these every time you wash your hair. So for me personally, I wash my hair 2 times a week, and I would use it on those specific days. Along with those, I would use ketoconazole shampoo. Now, ketoconazole shampoo is also supposed to help you grow your hair back as well, so I'd pair it with the Follicle shampoo and this at the same time. Then I would put the conditioner on right after. So I would use this ketoconazole shampoo every time I would wash my hair, which was 2 times a week, as well with the thickening conditioner and the thickening shampoo. Now, the last thing I used that in my opinion really helped me grow back my hair in such a short amount of time is this baby right here. Now these are multi-collagen peptides, and this is from the brand Micro Ingredients. The reason I believe this helped me grow back my hair is because not only does the brand come with collagen, but it also comes with biotin. Now both of these things are both supposed to help you grow back your hair at an increased rate. Now obviously I'm not saying you have to get this product, I'm just saying my routine and what I believe worked for me. And if you want to know how often I would take this, is I would take this every single day on the weekdays. I like to give myself a break on the weekends, and personally I believe it made a huge difference in reversing my hair loss. So now you guys know my routine. All the products down below should be in the description and the comments, so if you're interested, make sure to check those out. Combining all these products together allowed me to experience my insane 1.5 month hair reversal transformation that you should be able to see on the screen now. And what's crazy about it, I had already had a hair loss prevention routine. So I just added the finasteride in and kept doing what I was doing, and after a month and a half, I had realized that my hair had already grown back. And for a while, yeah, this was amazing. I mean, just imagine yourself thinking that you're going to be going bald within a year, and now within a month and a half, you got a full head of hair again. But unfortunately, these benefits didn't come without side effects, which I'm about to get into now. As I said at the start of the video, a potential side effect of taking finasteride involved decreased sex drive, and I was taking steps from the get-go to try and avoid these side effects. Apparently, these side effects are supposed to be super rare, so for most of you, you probably don't even have to worry about this. But for me personally, after about a month and a half, I actually started to experience decreased sex drive, and I'm usually a pretty sexually active person. But after about a month and a half of taking the finasteride, I started to realize that I wasn't really horny at all anymore, and it was a weird feeling, because unless I explicitly tried to make myself horny, I really just wasn't horny at all, and didn't feel like I needed sex at all. And this was such a weird feeling because at the same time I was kind of over the moon knowing that I had reversed my hair loss. But on the other end of the spectrum, I pretty much completely lost my sex drive. So I did what any of us would do, and that's obviously to stop the finasteride immediately. And when I stopped the finasteride, I did a little research and found that usually if you get side effects involving decreased sex drive, what you should do is stop the finasteride immediately, and your sex drive will likely come back within a month or two. Luckily, this is what happened for me. So about a month after I had stopped the finasteride, I had retained my new hair and I had gotten my sex drive back. And because of this, I didn't think I needed the finasteride anymore. I mean, I had my new hair and I had my sex drive back. I didn't want to go back and get possible side effects and possibly fuck up anything. So I was like, let's just leave that to the side. But unfortunately, a couple of months later, my hair started thinning again and I started experiencing hair loss again. So I was basically back in the same situation, and I was in a dilemma because I was like, I don't want my hair to thin, but I also don't want to lose my sex drive. So I did a little more research and I actually ended up finding out that some people who experience the side effects of having reduced sex drive actually ended up having their sex drive come back after a while, because when you start taking finasteride, your body's DHT levels basically get nuked and your body's out of homeostasis. But after a while, your body goes back to normal levels, and because of this, in theory, your sex drive should return back to normal levels as well. So with that knowledge, I actually started taking the finasteride again, but at an extremely reduced rate. And when I say extremely reduced rate, I'm talking about 1 pill per week. At this point, I'm still testing out whether 1 pill a week works or not, but I'm about a month in now, and my hair has slightly come back. It hasn't been as fast as the other one, and it stopped thinning. So I'm hoping that I can stay on this 1 pill per week, and so far I have not experienced any lowered sex drive. In fact, I actually feel like my sex drive is higher somehow. So the reason I say this is because if you guys are thinking about taking oral finasteride, then I really recommend that you go in slowly. I really think that instead of taking 1 pill per day like the label says, which is crazy to me, or even taking 3 pills per week that I was doing before, I recommend that you start with 1 pill per week for the first month and see how your body reacts. If your hair is growing back and you feel like your body's fine, then maybe go up to 2 per week. And if you're still fine on that, then maybe go up to 3 per week. I don't recommend going any higher than that. But by doing this, you're slowly easing your body in so your sex drive doesn't just get nuked and you're left just never being horny at all, like I was. And if you guys have any brief questions, put them in the comments below and I'll try and answer it as soon as possible. Or if you're really serious and you want me to personally guide you through this process, sign up for one-on-one coaching with me down below. Also, make sure to download my free ebook that I made to specifically help you navigate and understand the 10 secret stages of success you'll 100% be going through on the way to achieving your goals. You can find the links to both of these in the description or the pinned comment down below. So now that you guys know the routine I did that allowed me to reverse my hair loss in just 1.5 months, and you know what I experienced on my hair loss journey so you don't make the same mistakes, you're probably wondering whether there's an alternative, something that doesn't have the same side effects and something that maybe you don't have to ingest. best. And if you were wondering that, well, you might be psychic because there actually is an alternative. And that alternative is topical finasteride. Now, personally, I haven't taken this version of finasteride yet, and I'm still putting research into it. But basically, topical finasteride is a spray form of finasteride that you just apply to problem areas on your head. This form of finasteride isn't as well documented, and it's not FDA approved yet, but it's getting there, and there are thousands of success stories online that go over what people experienced while using topical finasteride. Now, it's obviously not 100% perfect. Topical finasteride still has a chance of causing the negative side effects, but it's extremely reduced because you're not ingesting it into your body. You're just spraying it on the problem areas, which is likely just going to be the top part of your head. Because of this, the side effects are supposed to be a lot more rare compared to the oral finasteride. It's also a lot more expensive than oral finasteride. If I remember this correctly, I think this cost me around $10 with my insurance, and this comes with 30 capsules. And if you're only taking one capsule a week, it's gonna last you for a while. But if the price isn't an issue for you, you're okay with it not having as much documentation, and you really want to avoid the possibility of any negative side effects on your sex drive, then topical finasteride is likely for you. From what I've seen online, the most popular brands that offer topical finasteride mixed with topical minoxidil are Keeps and Hims, so definitely check those out when you can. So I hope this video helped you guys out, and I hope it helped you realize that just like how I grew my hair back in 1.5 months, you can as well. Now, when you first start out reversing your hair loss, it can seem like an impossibility, but if you can apply the things you've learned in this video, there's a high possibility of reversing your hair loss, but you have to stay disciplined. And to stay disciplined, you're gonna need something that keeps you on track. That's why your next step is to watch this video, where I'll teach you how to stay on track and guarantee the highest possibility of you completely reversing your hair loss and growing your hair back.